Hi, welcome back to DJsounds.com. We're talking to Mount Kimbie and Benga tonight about music, crowds, and lap dances. Benga, do you remember where you were exactly 1 year ago?
Here, in the same spot on this same table.
With the same interviewer.
Yeah.
Telling me how ecstatically happy you were back then, because 2009 was undoubtedly the Benga year. Is 2010 as well?
Definitely. I guess we are in a band called Magnetic Man, and it's all taken off. Like, we signed a major deal at the end of last year. We've now created the album. And I think our first single is going to go #1. It's going to be a #1 single, so I think this could be a great year again.
So have things gone all professional and serious on you all of a sudden?
Kind of. We're still creating mischief, like me and Scream. We're still getting into trouble, but I guess professional-wise, we are doing a lot of press and, you know, keeping up to date on what we should be doing. So, yeah.
There comes a point where structure takes over as you grow more and more successful. How do you deal with that? How do you go about with that as an artist?
Depends. Like, I don't really deal with anything. I always just go with the flow. So I seriously don't notice it. I'm just like I'm the guy that just creates beats and then just lets everything else happen.
Do you remember your set last year? You were wicked, man. You were so fucking good. Is that the plan for this year as well? To be fucking unbelievable?
I always try it. Like, as soon as I get onto stage, I just turn into this nutty guy that goes crazy and gets on the mic and just tries to give the energy that I feel that people are giving to me. I've done some crazy things on stage. I streaked last weekend in Spain. I got naked and ran across the stage.
Were there any feathers involved?
There wasn't. There was no feathers, just, you know, straightforward streak.
Okay, imagine you not, for some reason, being able to perform as of tomorrow. What would you do?
Wow.
Strip?
Why not? Think I'll be good at it. I'd either do stripping or lap dancing.
Whose lap would you pick?
I've been thinking about Natasha Khan a lot, I guess. She's from Bats for Lashes. I'm joking.
It's too late. Your secret is out there for everyone to know.
I can't believe you just did this, man.
I noticed you have two sets of fans, or two types of audience. The people who really obviously are diehard fans, who have your music, who had their moments with your music, and those who are kind of puzzled. Does that happen a lot to you guys?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we don't really spend that much time focusing on the audience when we're playing. But I can imagine people's kind of standing there and thinking, like, what's this?
What I noticed as well, I was standing next to the stage, and the people who knew you and appreciate your music, they all had stories about the tracks you played. Like, oh, that track, I remember, I was doing that at that time, or that reminds me of that period of my life. Isn't that the ultimate compliment for a musician, for a producer?
Yeah, definitely. Like last week, someone said it reminds me of going to see a football game with my dad when I'm 8 years old. You know, it's like, fuck.
Is that how you make music? Do you start from a setting? Do you start from an experience, from momentum, and do you translate it into music?
Not really. I think it's more like a natural process. We don't try and force anything and try and do anything with a purpose, or sit down and think, right, I'm going to write a song about my dead dog. Or, you know, it's just very, very natural, and it's what comes out.
So there was a dead dog?
I've had many dead dogs. I love dogs, and it's very sad when they pass away, but I've never written a song about it yet. I don't think so anyway.
Are you ever tempted to up the tempo or up the BPMs?
Well, we've recently started to get into a genre called juke, which is in America, and it's about 160, 180 or something like that. So there might be a Speed Garage Mount Kimbie album in the pipeline about dead cats.
On speed.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were to do a lap dance with someone, whose lap would you dance on? It's a serious question. Don't ask.
Like what, in a sexual way? Who do I want to try and seduce? Are you saying? Or I think, you know what, Steve Reich has managed to age very respectively. He wears this little cap, and I just think he's not a sexy guy, but I don't know. Oh, that sounds totally wrong. Dom, have you got any ideas about this one? Because
I mean, I know it wouldn't really be much of a seduction because she'd already be like into me, but Beyonce would be a definite target for me.
Don't you feel better now that you've outed this?
Well, it's always been a major fantasy, but yeah, I'm happy.
Okay. One more question, a Benga question. What would you do with feathers on stage?
Try and tickle people in the vicinity.
You anything to add, feather-wise?
the feathers, I'd I don't know, try and hide my face or something like that.
So you're coming back next year with feathers?
Yes.
And Beyonce. Is this the end of our relationship now?
No, we're still perfectly happy together.